Morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Thanks for talking with us this morning. There was a report yesterday that Diamond and Brianna probably won't be in Phoenix for the season opener. I just want to ask, like, in your opinion, what players will have to step up just for opening night?
Yeah, hopefully all the players for opening night. But that does create a little challenge and maybe a little extra minutes, but also putting people in a little bit different positions. I think we're still very open about like our final roster decisions for those places. So, I mean, obviously our key players hopefully bring a little bit more on those days.
Hey, Coach, thank you for with the sports game. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Piggybacking off that question, how hard is it to put in what you want to do as players come in one at a time? How difficult is that?
Yeah, this is my first year, so I don't know a different way it would be. It's implementing a lot of new things as a coach with players that maybe are plug and play of a different player that's coming in. It's a challenge, but something I'm taking on. I don't know different, so it just seems normal right now. And it's part of the realities of the WNBA that players are coming in not always at the beginning of camp. It's great to think about, oh, when Diamond's in that spot, or oh, when Breezy's in that spot. So I keep that as what I kind of focus on, and then really reaching out, connecting with them, sending them film, sending them plays so that they're up to speed when they arrive here. Shea Petty came in this week, and she's extremely skilled and a very cerebral basketball player, but she came in and just hit the ground running and picked the stuff up easy. I'm no genius. This is just like basic basketball. So these players are great. They don't really need me a lot, especially for the offensive end. And so they're able to step in and do whatever we ask. Oh, yeah. Yep.
So when it comes to planning your roster and game planning, obviously it's not having Brittney here. How does that affect what you're doing in terms of personnel and then who's gonna get those minutes in the paint?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously that does affect maybe what I was thinking or we were thinking in January, but we've known for a while that BG wouldn't be here for the very beginning of the season at least. And so, we've made adjustments, having Tina Charles step in, leading scorer in the league, a strong post presence in her own right to be able to get those minutes. I think just creativity away from that and finding pieces that complement her game is where we're trying to expand right now. Breezy's a huge piece, right? That's not quite here, not here yet. But people have stepped up into that, and I think we can just do a little bit of different things. I don't think you have to be super traditional in lineups as you have in the past.
Compared to what you're thinking in January, are they major overhauls? Are they minor changes? How would you describe?
I wouldn't say it's a major overhaul. I mean, I think there's adjustments to be made. I think there's a style of play. Success is in the details. So whatever play, all the plays, all of them work. It's if you execute them, if you do them correctly, if the players are bought in and play with pace and pay attention to little things that make them successful, knock down shots, right? Defensively, that a lot of things haven't changed what we want to do defensively. So that implementing on the defensive side of the ball has been not too challenging.
For a team that came so close to winning it all last year, mentally, how are they right now? Because sometimes it's hard to come back after that. Not with Diana, obviously, that takes everything away. But mentally, how are they? Are they let's go get it, or we should have won that one? Let's go get it. Kind of where are they mentally with that?
I think they're locked in. I think you get a taste. We have some players who've never had a taste. Obviously, Diana is the champion of champions, but we have players that just got a taste and they want more. And they're hungry. So I feel like this being in the championship last year is not a negative. It's a very positive thing for us in terms of motivation. And we have players coming in, Tina and Diamond, who are here specifically to win. And they're hungry as well. Now, Diamond won last year, but Tina is somebody who is here for that. And I think adding her to the mix of these players who almost achieved it, I think is really positive.
We know Diana can talk trash with the best of them. What do you think that's going to be like from down there?
I'm looking forward to the camaraderie.
when you talk about trying to keep them up to speed, Diamond and Turner, how exactly do you do that now? You're sending them tapes, or you're sending them email information about the system changes and whatnot?
Yeah, I think so I think there's two pieces of it. There's the technical aspects, but also I'm a new leader in the space. And so building rapport and building relationships and trust with them. So there's two pieces that I'm reaching out to create that relationship with them. And then there's the technical aspects of what we're doing on and off the court. So we're sharing video. Technology is easy to do now. Sharing video, sharing schemes, sharing language that we have. You know, it's like a new coach brings in like a whole new language. So they can come in and understand what we're doing. We've been sharing that information as well, diagrams, whatever we can to make sure that when they arrive, they're ready to go.
And what's the challenge? We've seen this before with people coming in late, playing, you know, through their international season, and just the rest.
Yeah.
Factor versus throwing them right in. What do you have some thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's two-sided, right? They come in and they're in shape because they've been playing. So there's not that huge off season where they may not be in game shape. These players come in and they're in game shape. We're really fortunate to have an extensive physical and mental support staff for our athletes so that they're ready to be on the floor and to participate, and very cognizant of their bodies and making sure that they can perform on games. The games are the most important. These are pros, they'll be ready to go. But the ones who've been playing year round, we have to be aware of the tread on the tires, right? All of the tread of Diana Taurasi should happen in a game until, you know, she doesn't tread anymore, right? Good morning.
How hard is it not to ask for like maybe more BG updates and how you walk that fine?
Yeah.
line? I'm sure you got a lot to deal with going into the season and get your team ready, but how often do you like wonder how she's doing or ask people just for any update?
Well, I think we all are concerned every day. And so it's in our minds. We do get occasional updates and we are kept as informed as we can be. And it's part of who we are this season. And we're just keeping all of our thoughts and prayers with BG and, you know, praying for her safe return.
Back here, Coach. Piggybacking off that, as a coach, how do you keep the team just focusing on basketball with, you know, this kind of cloud over that situation and all the unknowns? How do you just keep them? I mean, I understand they're professionals, and of course, how do you just keep them locked in? Yeah,
I mean, you're right. There is something to that, but I don't know. Once you bounce the ball, you start blowing the whistle. That's all you're really focused on when you're a competitor, when you're a player, that you are really locked in. In basketball, at any time, somebody could be injured or something could happen and they wouldn't be available. And you got to fight with what you got in the moment. All right. That happens throughout the season. And so I think once we start competing, once we start out there, the players are very locked into their individual roles, responsibilities, and the success of the group.
You mentioned keeping the tread on Diana.
Yeah.
What does that look like this year with it? You're going to turn 40 in June. Do you restaurant practices? Do you have set up practices? Like, what does that look like?
I think it's a collaboration. So it's working closely with her, working with our training staff, and you know, doing everything we can to have her ready to play in games.
You have a plan set up already, or that's all?
I mean, it's a body, so I don't think a long-term projection makes sense. I think it's a day-to-day thing. Oh, I do. I like to also claim that it's a mom joke. Moms can have jokes too, right? Just because we're doing most of the work at home doesn't mean we can't have jokes. So here's my joke. Why do you never play basketball on the savannah? Too many cheetahs. Stop, Bryce. You loved it. You loved it. Okay, fine.
You've been head coach, but you're head coach, new head coach in this level. When you watch what the Suns are doing, how Monty operates, is there anything to be learned at all from the way he handles the team, the way he is making adjustments in the playoffs, whatnot? Is there anything that you can gain from that?
Oh, absolutely. I feel so fortunate. The close collaboration between the Suns and the Mercury, the fact that we share space, that we share some staff members, and that I'm allowed, and Monty's given me full access to anything Suns. His support staff, his assistants, video people, everyone has been more than welcoming and helpful to me. So I am constantly learning from them. Whether it's a conversation, Monty gave me a rebounding drill the other day when we were just chatting, or we're talking about different adjustments that are made, or a video coordinator is like, hey, I saw this on something, and Corey, their video coordinator, is like, oh, like this is how we do it. It is a really unique opportunity for myself as a coach and the rest of our coaching staff to have access to collaborate with one of the greatest coaches in the NBA and his staff. And they've been so amazing and welcoming to me. And I feel like I came in January, and I just can't wait till the off season to be able to go into their training camp, and we have like a full access to the spaces and really learn as much as I can from Monty. He's quite a successful coach, and, watching the adjustments, getting to see sometimes what they're focusing on in practice and seeing that carrying over into games. It's been really, really helpful for me. And I'm looking forward to finding, it's a new world in my estimation for a WNBA coach to be in this position. And I'm looking forward to finding ways to like really make the most of it.
We'll go over to Zoom for a few questions here. We'll start with Meredith Cash, followed by Robert O'Connell.
Hi, Coach. Meredith Cash from Insider. Thanks so much for taking the time. I'm interested to hear a little bit about what your early conversations in the hiring process were like in terms of the focus of the team this season and the emphasis on winning right now.
The conversations with players, or the conversations with staff?
All the way around, front office down, maybe.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this before, but when I first met with Diana, when I got to Phoenix, I asked her what she needed me to do. How could I help? And she told me I need to tighten the screws here, and pay attention to the details and bring in that kind of energy. So, the team had a lot of success. They have a lot of great pieces, but I think that success is focusing on details. So I've been really focused on that, and also just learning the new people. I can't lead anybody unless I've developed some kind of trust and rapport with them. So that has been a huge priority for me. And being a former player, I also feel like I have a little bit of insight into what it feels like to be a player. And I really believe that if we want our team to be successful, we have to put the players first in every situation. And so there's been an emphasis. I've tried to make adjustments throughout the organization that prioritize the players and the players' needs.
All right, next up we have Robert O'Connell, followed by PJ.
Coach Robert O'Connell, Sports Illustrated. Can you give me kind of your early impressions of Tina, particularly in the context of this team? You mentioned her bringing that primary scorer talent, but obviously also joining a lot of accomplished players. How is she striking that balance, and what about her attributes lets her kind of, navigate that?
Tina has been amazing. It has been a pleasure to coach her. She's been extremely coachable. She has shown leadership on and off the court. There have been times in practice where she steps in and instructs the entire team in positive ways. When there's something that she thinks can be better, she comes to me and we discuss it. And so I think that Tina has been a fantastic addition. And I know coming off last year where she was a leading scorer in the league, and coming here, it's about winning. And so she's prepared to do whatever it takes to get to that level. And I feel fortunate as a coach to have her energy and her commitment I've seen so far in practice is real buy-in to what we're trying to do as a coaching staff. And I think she's going to be great for us this year.
We'll wrap up with PJ on Zoom.
Hi, Vanessa. It's PJ from the Arizona Daily Star. When you look at roster construction and you look at a player coming in like Sam Thomas, who at the collegiate level was a glue player who could play, who knew every position on the court, understands the game at the level she understands it. How do you think that helps prepare her for possibly a spot on your roster?
Yeah, I think that versatility is really important. I also think sometimes players come in and they are used to have always being the very best player on their team. And a lot of things being adjusted around them, and a lot of not understanding taking a different role. While Sam, not just being a humble person, but also being a leader for her team in Arizona, a five-year captain, never happened before. But she has a real understanding of fitting into a spot, doing what's needed for a team. That combined with her high level of athleticism, her basketball IQ, and her ability to defend, those are really strong assets for somebody to be able to come in and have an impact because she already knows she doesn't have to be the star. You know, like pass the ball to Tina. It's easy. Pass the ball to Sky, pass the ball to D, you know, like you don't have to do anything. You have to do your job. And I think when you come from a position where you weren't a star, that's a lot easier to understand for a player like Sam.
Thanks for the time, Vanessa.
All right, thank y'all. I'll get some more jokes lined up.